How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Red Cloud Society. We're a new YouTube channel where we'll be talking about Naruto hypothetical battles, versus battles, character development, all that type of stuff in Naruto, and maybe other animes in the future. If you like the kind of content that we're putting out, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, give us any tips, and I hope you like our content.
Yeah, I just want to drop one more other note. As you can see by today's video, it's pretty much just audio with our logo up in the background. In the future, when we have more time to spend on videos, we will get a visual accompaniment that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. But just for the sake of getting the channel started and getting some content out there, it's just going to be more of a pure podcast. So bear with us. We will get you some actual shit to watch in the future. But we just kind of wanted to get out there and see what you think. So without further ado, as you can see from the title, today's video is going to be about Kakashi versus Sasori of the Red Sand. Obviously, they never fought in the actual series, but I was reading a thread online the other day, and somebody said something along the lines of, Sasori's lucky that Chiyo and Sakura were in that cave with him instead of Kakashi, because he was going to get slapped around or something. And my initial reaction was absolutely fucking not. But instead of just saying that, figure we actually make a whole video about it. So let's get right into it.
Yep, and just before we really get into the versus battle, we are going to be completely ignoring Part 1 Kakashi and DMS Kakashi, because everyone can agree that Part 1 Kakashi stands no chance. He's getting fucking wiped. And DMS Kakashi is going to fucking massacre Sasori. I think we can both agree on that, at least.
Absolutely. So we're really just going to start with beginning of Shippuden Kakashi all the way up through the war arc, stopping right before he activates DMS, as we mentioned. Obviously Sasori's time in the show, unfortunately, is very short. Maybe we'll make a video about that when the time comes, but he really is what he is and only has one form. So let's just jump right into beginning of Shippuden Kakashi versus Sasori.
Yeah, so Kakashi, Naruto, Chiyo, Sakura, they pull up in that cave. Team guys off doing their thing, fighting their clones. In this situation, I see it panning out or working out to be where, for some reason, I don't fucking know, Naruto, Chiyo, and Sakura go after Datara, and Kakashi is just left there in the cave with Sasori, and the battle would just go from there. Very beginning of Shippuden, all the feats he has up to that point. How do you think this is going to work out?
I am trying desperately to think of a way that he is not going to get absolutely 9 to 5 minimum wage fucking jobbed instantly, but I really don't see it happening. I mean, Kakashi, like Part 1 and all the way up until the war arc, really shows some pretty serious durability issues. Using like 2 or 4 Chidoris in a fucking day, and then he needs to be in the hospital for a week. So, and Sasori, on the other hand, is insanely fucking durable and has a million goddamn forms. Like, call him the fucking Frieza of Naruto. So I really don't see how he can just hang with Sasori for that long. I mean, I think it's going to be difficult for him just to get through the Hiroko shell, let alone the third Kazekage, let alone his own puppet body, and then 100 fucking puppets after that.
I mean, I don't want to talk about it from the standpoint of like, what can we say Kakashi can do to just survive? But I mean, that's kind of what it is. I mean, he can see chakra threads like for the puppets with the Sharingan, and he can probably, I would assume he could see that the Hiroko shell and Sasori's puppet body and all that shit doesn't have chakra like a normal human, but he's not going to he can't do anything with that, I think. I mean, he might know that he's got to go after the bodies themselves, but there's no way Sasori's letting him get near him. He's not fast enough. He's not. I don't think he can dodge the poison senbon at this point. I mean, even Sakura did it, but
well, here's the other thing, though. I mean, Sakura was able to do it because Chiyo was controlling her with her own chakra at the beginning of the fight, but also she had full intel. I mean, Chiyo was like, if you take one fucking scratch from this man, it's game over. It's GG. But I mean, maybe, we can hypothetically assume Chiyo may have passed that knowledge along to him, but otherwise, I mean, he may not even know that Sasori's coming at him with 100% poison attack. So that's a huge disadvantage right off the bat. But beyond that, I mean, I'm trying to think of how the fight would shake out. And mind you, I'll give Kakashi credit. He's very good with his clone feints, whether they're shadow or lightning clones, depending on what part of the series it's in. And I think he's fast enough and smart enough. Both of these characters are very, very intellectual. And I think he has the skill set to maybe catch Sasori off guard and, tag him with a Raikiri or something. The only problem is it's not going to do fucking shit. Like, hypothetically, he blitzes Sasori and, gets pegged with a bunch of poison senbon needles. And lo and behold, it's a shadow clone, a lightning clone. Kakashi pops up out of the ground and slices Hiruko's fucking head off with a Raikiri, but so what? He's literally getting fucking spanked with that tail instantly. I mean, you got to consider that Sasori's puppets are more or less machines, and they don't need their body parts to function. So even if he Raikiris his head off, Kamui's his fucking head off, I just don't. It's not going to do anything. Like, obviously, it's not Sasori's real body, but he can still, beyond that, control the individual parts of the puppet. So I don't see how he's going to get at him. And also, Kakashi being Kakashi, after using one fucking Raikiri or one fucking Kamui, he's already going to be pretty strained for chakra.
Yeah, I was just thinking, this is the only way I can see Kakashi getting close to beating Sasori, is if he assumes that all of the attacks are poisoned because he knows that Kankuro got fucking shit stomped and poisoned, and he knows that Sakura found the cure. So in this scenario, somehow Sakura gives him the two leftover cures, and he can use I'll give him Kamui twice and Raikiri twice, but that's a stretch. And if he can pull that off, I mean, you get past Hiruko, let's say that's a Raikiri, okay? He's gonna have to Kamui the fucking third Kazekage. I don't see him getting a Raikiri off on that. By that point, he's half drained. It's hard, and then the 100 puppets, it's too much. I just don't think. I think he'll come up with a plan. He's one of the smartest characters in the series. No problem with him deducing what he has to do. The problem is the execution. He doesn't have the stamina. He doesn't have the strength like Sakura. He doesn't have the intel like Chiyo. And if we're truly sticking to the anime and the manga, he doesn't have that cure. And I fucking doubt he can use Kamui twice and Raikiri twice. That's just not enough. I don't see how he gets out of that cave.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a couple good points. I mean, even hypothetically, if we're going to wank him and give him like 3 fucking poison antidotes and he can survive, or he can tank 3 different attacks, I still don't think that's going to be enough because Sasori has 1,000,001 things he can throw at you. And honestly, I feel like just getting past the Hiruko shell in itself is going to be an extensive task because, I mean, Christ, it took Chiyo, who knows every single fucking thing about him, controlling Sakura, who has Tsunade level strength, to smash that thing. So Kakashi, if he's going to have any hope, he's going to have to use Kamui, have to use a Raikiri with some Shadow Clone Fates just to get at him. And by that time, he's already going to be so drained for chakra by the time Sasori whips out the third Kazekage, he's gonna shit his fucking pants. And
Yeah.
and honestly, when we were talking about this before the video, um, I think really what we saw of the third Kazekage puppet was honestly a lower showing,
Yeah.
because we never really got to see his defensive capabilities. He was really on the offensive that entire fight. And I'm sure I'm going to trigger some people by saying this, but in my mind, I feel like that puppet is comparable offensively and defensively to fucking Kazekage Gara, if not stronger. I mean, think about it. He has the complete Iron Sand manipulation, which is also laced with poison, so it's insta kill. And then instead of having a human body that feels pain and shit, he's got a bunch of hidden blades and whatever that can pop out of his arms, and he can just fly on his own without the sand. So, I mean, that puppet, again, maybe part of it was the fact that he was fighting somebody that knows every single thing about him. But I feel like
Yeah.
if he was fighting, somebody who didn't have any prep time, that puppet's damn near untouchable unless he can get a Kamui off on it. But again, at that point, he's going to be so drained for fucking chakra. I just don't see him getting anything done.
Yeah. I think he could probably get to the third Kazekage puppet without using Kamui. Like maybe he'll smack Yuriko. Like same thing with Obito. Lightning clone pops up. Oh, this is the real one. Bang! It's a fucking lightning clone. One of those with a Raikiri to the shell. But the Iron Sand. I mean, he's gonna have to Kamui that shit away. You can't fucking Raikiri that.
Yeah,
And
good point.
then, okay, let's say he does that. I still think he's got to Kamui the puppet. I mean, I don't see how he's getting a Raikiri off on that either. So,
Yeah,
and by that point, he's nearly killing himself with no chakra left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make Kakashi look like a huge fucking bitch here, but at the same time, going back to Sakura smashing the puppet, like, she literally destroyed that giant fucking boulder, like, outside of the cliff, which is how they got in. And
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, even with a Raikiri, yeah, he can take the head off or maybe cut up the point off the tail or just like put a hole in the puppet that can get close to his real body, but he's not destroying the entire thing with a Raikiri. So you can make the argument that that puppet's not even going to be out of commission with one or two of those shots as well. So I just really, at this point in the series, I don't see any way how Kakashi is getting it done. Sasori's just got too much up his fucking sleeve. He's like almost Orochimaru level slipperiness, and Kakashi just has such a fucking stamina problem that I just can't conceivably think of any way he gets it done. I feel bad saying that Sasori wins 10 out of 10 times low difficulty, but I think that's got to be the truth.
Yeah, I mean, low difficulty. I don't even see it being mid difficulty for Sasori. Even if Kakashi found a way to get past the third Kazekage puppet, there's no way he's standing up against the 100 puppets. That he took down a fucking nation with the 100 puppets.
The one thing I will say in Kakashi's defense, in fighting the 100 puppets, is that, if Sakura can dance around and dodge some of their attacks and fucking break some of them, I don't think Kakashi speed-wise would have a problem doing that either. But the only problem is, I just really don't think it's even going to get to that point. I mean, he's just going to have to get through so much shit and use so much chakra just to get him to whip that out, that I just think the fight would end well before then. But, I mean, if it got to that point somehow, if we super wank Kakashi, I mean, it is plausible that there are so many and attacking in mass like that they're not very skilled. But I just don't think there's any way he's getting to that point alive.
Yeah, and even if he starts taking some out, Sasori set himself, or maybe it was Chiyo, I can't recall right now. But, as the numbers dwindle down, he can focus more on each individual puppet. So it really just gets harder.
Exactly.
I mean,
when Chiyo was using Chikamatsu's 10 puppets, she was shitting on Sasori's 100 puppets just because they were so much more specialized and she could put so much more attention to detail in their actual movements as opposed to just having a fucking horde in the sky just like bum rushing whoever they see.
Yeah. I think you said what, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, miracles happen.
I hate to say it, but I feel like 9 out of 10 is even generous for Kakashi.
Yeah.
I really, Kakashi's a great character, and I'm sure we may get some flack for this, but pre-war arc, he's getting fucking jobbed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't stick around in that fucking cave. We'll just put it that way.
Exactly. All right, so I think at this point, we can really just skip right on to war arc Kakashi, because even though he has some more fights in the show beyond this, like against Kakazu and Pain, and granted, those are some pretty impressive characters, and he holds his own in a lot of fights, but he still shows the same exact stamina problems over and over again until the war arc.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even use Kamui against Kakazu. And against Pain, I mean, he did pretty well against the Diva Path. I mean, he still got fucking killed, so he didn't do that well. But he was fighting the strongest paths and was able to analyze their abilities pretty well and, at least make the Diva Path avoid some of his attacks. But that being said, he did use one fucking Raikiri and one Lightning Clone, and it was like, oh, guys, I'm pretty fucking tired. So I don't see how any form of Kakashi pre-war arc stands a fucking chance against, somebody as slippery and durable as fucking Sasori, who is debatably even as smart as a character.
Yeah, I agree. But War Arc Kakashi, that's a little trickier.
Let's jump into that, because this man fucking injects some Hashirama cells into his ass or something, because he more or less becomes a completely fucking different character at that point.
Yeah, maybe the talk with his dad did something. His dad was like, listen, you are such a fucking bitch. And he's like, sorry. And he just went back and just buckled down. But War Arc Kakashi is a fucking man's man. He knows no end when it comes to stamina and chakra. I mean, he's just an absolute monster.
Oh yeah, durability no longer a fucking issue at all. I mean, durability may in the war have gone from being his biggest weakness to his biggest strength, and his feats in the war are so fucking insane. I almost want to put his durability above Sasori's, but the only reason I don't want to do that is because Sasori literally doesn't need to eat or drink and can't feel pain and shit. So I feel pretty comfortable from a stamina and chakra reserve standpoint, putting them on the same level. Also, he does state in the anime, I'm not sure if it's in the manga as well, but he does say right before he uses that massive fucking iron sand world order technique, he's like, all right, I'll actually use a little bit of chakra. And it's like, okay, like using the Hiruko shell, using the third Kazekage, using hella iron sand jutsu for a while up until that point seemed to have no tax on him whatsoever. And then when he finally unleashes that large ass scale attack, he's like, all right, I'll use a little bit of chakra. And then beyond that, he still is fucking blasting fire, water, whips out 100 puppets. So I feel like durability wise, it's safe to say that they're on an even playing field at this point.
Yeah, I mean, every Akatsuki member has just insane chakra reserves. Sasori's no exception. But like we said, Kakashi, War Arc, I mean, he, not on Obito's level, but he is just fucking spamming Kamui. He's been running around for 2 fucking days. He's been just jacking people up with the Raikiri, tossing paws with Obito, getting stabbed in the chest. I mean, the motherfucker doesn't die. He couldn't die.
Yeah, no, I mean, he literally fights the 7 ninja swordmen for however long, I think 24 hours, and then goes on to fight on par with Six Gate Guy, KCM Naruto against fucking Rinnegan Obito with Six-Tailed Beast like on his fucking beck and call. So I mean, the feats really speak for themselves. He's obviously massively more powerful, but let's get into if this gives him enough to pull it off against Sasori. Because here's the thing, he's shown that he's 1,000% more durable, but Sasori being fucking Sasori, it's not a matter of how hard of attacks Kakashi can tank. It's just if you get fucking touched, if you get scratched, if you inhale a whiff of poison gas, it's over.
Yeah, game over. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it, because I think in the end we'll agree, just based off of our conversations in the past. I think we'll agree, but we'll still have minor disagreements on the way to that decision. If War Kakashi walks into that cave and fights Sasori, first off, Hiruko's getting fucking smashed. There's no doubt about it. Whether it's a Kamui or a Raikiri, Kakashi's getting through it. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, if he's spamming Kamui like he did in the war, like it doesn't even take as long as it used to at the beginning of the series. Like I feel like when he warped Datara's arm off, like that was a 5-minute fucking process. Meanwhile, in the war, he's like, "Oh, fucking Geto Mazo head, give me that shit." Like, okay, bud. Like,
I don't know how long it was in the manga, but in the anime, it was like 2 episodes of him just fucking jumping on logs and just getting his chakra ready, and then he could use Kamui. But here he's just like, oh fuck, a tail beast bomb, bang, Kamui.
Yeah, like, exactly.
It's just ridiculous.
So I think it goes without saying, just from spamming, the amount of spamming Kamui he has, his increase in speed, his increase in durability, I feel like he's going to be able to get through the Hiruko shell with low to mid difficulty. And then when the third Kazekage comes out, obviously that'll be more of a challenge. But again, he's seen just such a physical prowess increase that I'm sure he can avoid a lot of the attacks and get a Kamui off that could warp that whole puppet away. So I think it goes without saying that he will at least push Sasori to his upper limits, meaning using his puppet body and all 100 puppets at once. If that even is his absolute max limit, I mean, we don't know that for sure, although it was a pretty impressive showing. Now, in my opinion, this is where things change a little bit, just because I don't think Kamui is going to be super effective in a 1v100 fight. Just because he has to look at individual targets, and if he's trying to Kamui one of the puppets away, he's going to get bum rushed by a bunch of other ones. Same with going for Sasori's real body. So I don't think Kamui is going to be super effective in that situation. But that being said, I mean, Raikiri, Lightning Cable, just how fucking fast and strong and durable he is at that point, he may be able to just get through all of them and still get a shot at his real body close range with, a lightning blade.
Yeah, going back to the third Kazekage puppet, I think Kakashi, if he's fighting him 10 times, I think most of the time, like 8, 9 probably times out of 10, he's getting past that. I can see him getting caught with, the iron sand laced with poison. The poison is the problem. Kakashi could probably, based off of the war arc feats, he could probably take the hit from the iron sand, but I mean, it doesn't matter how strong you are. If you get hit by that poison, you're fucking dead. So I could give Sasori a little bit there, but yeah, I think he gets to the 100 puppets. And so my opinion on the Kamui is it really boils down to how wide of a field of view. Yeah. So, because he was ready to warp the ghetto statue's head away. And it's like, okay, well, how fucking big is that thing? It's fucking huge, but I don't know, it's not quantified. So how many puppets could he suck in? And how fast could he do it?
he can definitely, suck in or warp away a huge amount of chakra if he was going to do that, if he was going for that and also trying to, do multiple tailed beast bombs at the same time. So I don't think it's really about that. I just think it's more so about the fact that he has to focus on one target. And if there's 100 puppets zipping around in the air, I don't think he can, just look up into the sky and just fucking do all of them at once.
Yeah. I think Raikiri here is going to be his best bet. Just fucking maybe whipping out a few shadow clones or lightning clones or something and just going after the puppets with Raikiri. But even that, I feel like he would come up with a better plan, because honestly, what's the fucking point? He's got the Sharingan. He can see the chakra threads. He can, if he's almost certainly deduced by this point that, okay, that core, whatever the fuck is in Sasori's puppet chest, I need to hit that. So I think that's what he's going after. And I don't think he's wasting a lot of time on those puppets. It's just a matter, does he get caught on his way to doing that?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about War Art Kakashi, running stride for stride with Sixth Gate Guy and fighting Tailed Beast and Jinchuriki and shit, I can get behind people who want to make the argument that he's definitely fast enough to avoid a bunch of, puppets which aren't that skilled until, they really get down to the last couple ones. So I feel like that would be his best bet, was to just use his insane speed and stamina to just get at Sasori's real body. But still, I mean, there's no guarantees with that. And also, like, when everybody's sucking off War Art Kakashi, they, bring that up, that he's fighting tailed beasts and shit and, running stride for stride with Sixth Gate Guy. But, so I'm sure some people will be like, oh, well, he's just so fucking fast, he just blitz him and it would be over, like, bleh. But I don't want to go that far, just due to the fact that every Akatsuki member's mission was to capture a Jinchuriki, which is stronger than the tailed beast on its own. So, I mean, you can make the argument that Sasori is, tailed beast level if he was going to go out and, catch one of those fuckers. So I don't think, the scale flips completely in Kakashi's favor. Although, being as smart as he is and just having seemingly limitless chakra reserves, it's definitely going to be much more of a challenge for Sasori.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a toss-up, but not entirely. I mean, I could see Kakashi going in with his real body and trying to go after the Sasori's puppet body, or I could see him sending in a clone. I could also see Sasori, and I bring that up because I could see Sasori going, holy fuck, I'm getting blitzed, and then he shoots out that gas, and Kakashi's caught off guard. Maybe he inhales it, but if it's a clone, okay, fuck it. It's just Sasori, dude, that poison is just such a fucking problem.
I mean, I was going to say, I don't think Kakashi holding his breath in poison is a problem, because he was just going to, in the freaking, even part 1 Kakashi, who is, at this point, compared to War Art Kakashi and Sasori, is just complete fucking fodder, was holding his breath in Zabuza's water prison literally forever. Like, if you're an elite ninja, I feel like you can hold your breath for an hour, no question. But you bring up a good point. Like, maybe since Sasori, is immune to it as well, maybe he just puts a cloud of poison around himself and it's just like, come in here and fucking get a taste. Also, on that note, I mean, this is kind of a minor detail, but we do see Sasori with the ability to make sand clones of his own, so maybe, he can substitute himself and catch Kakashi as well. But just kind of to wrap things up, how do you see this one going? War Art Kakashi versus Sasori.
Yeah, I think Kakashi takes it most of the time. It just really boils down to, if they fight 10 times, how many times can he really win? I think he could probably take it 6, 7, if he's fucking feeling it, 8 times out of 10. But it's mid to high difficulty because he is not immune to that poison. Sasori is not a fucking slouch. And the third Kazekage with Haruko and those 100 puppets, I mean, that's a lot to get through. And that's a lot of fuck ups you have to not make to get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm going after the fucking core and the puppet body and we're good to go. So, yeah, I mean, most of the time I think he wins, but it's not a fucking easy fight, even for War Art Kakashi.
Mm-hmm. As much as I want to wank Sasori because he's one of my favorite characters, I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm just going to say, based on his showing in the war, which is extremely hard to, just talk shit about, I would agree that War Art Kakashi would probably beat Sasori mid to high diff 6 or 7 out of 10 times. Just being able to use Kamui early on against the Hiruko show and the third Kazekage, and hopefully for him being able to dispatch them pretty quickly. And then once Sasori is pressed to using all 100 puppets or his own puppet body, him just using his insane boost in speed and, physical strength and, just a bunch of fucking Raikiris to eventually get at him. Plus, just having the Sharingan and being extremely smart will really help him, to see Sasori's chakra and also just, deduce the best plan of attack. So I feel comfortable saying mid to high difficulty, 6 or 7 out of 10 for Kakashi.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you summed it up pretty well. So, yeah, Shippuden Kakashi or pre-war Kakashi, he is getting fucking mopped. And War Art Kakashi, he turns it around a good bit, but it's still not an easy fight. It's fucking tough, but I think he's coming out most of the time.
Sasori is a fucking bastard in the fact that, it takes one needle, one attack, one scratch, one mistimed breath, and you were fucking donezo. So, with that in mind, thanks for watching, everybody. Please feel free to drop a comment, drop a like. Let us know what you think on how this fight would go, or if you have any ideas in the future. And thanks for watching.
Yep, and we will see you in the next video.